Cynthia, lots of new information out of City Hall just within the last hour. I can tell you that we spoke with Fire Chief Matthew Pegg as well as Medical Officer of Health Dr. Eileen de Villa about a number of things. One, she made a point of saying that as far as the new measures are concerned, some city staff took to the streets yesterday and actually visited about 2,000 bars and restaurants to see if they were actually complying with the rules about making sure that people weren't sitting down and actually eating in those establishments. She said they only found 4% out of those 2,000 places that weren't complying, so that's good news at this point. She also took quite a bit of time today to talk about some of the things that each of us are supposed to be doing to help flatten the curve, as we continue to hear about. And there are some mistakes that are being made, and so she pointed them out.
Having your friends over for dinner or for coffee is not social distancing. Arranging play dates for your children is also not social distancing. Visiting friends or family in long-term care homes or hospital is not social distancing.
Now, Fire Chief Matthew Pegg also provided an update on which city services are still available and which ones have actually been suspended. It's quite a long list. You can find it online, but it included one of the city's animal shelters has been suspended, non-emergency bylaw enforcement, and the wedding chambers at civic centers have also been closed up for now. Pegg did say the city's COVID hotline, much like telehealth, as we just heard, is overwhelmed with calls on some of the top issues at this point as well.
As I have repeatedly explained, our public health call centres continue to experience an incredibly high volume of calls. Many of the questions being asked can quickly be addressed by accessing toronto.ca/COVID-19. I encourage everyone to make this your first point of access for reliable and credible information.
We also raised questions about travel patterns of everybody in the city and habits changing, whether or not the city would consider putting on hold ticketing for short-term parking. Just an hour ago, it was said that it was business as usual. However, we have just heard from both Toronto Police and Mayor John Tory about making sure that people want people to continue to pay for parking in and around the city. However, they will hold off on ticketing under certain circumstances depending on the situation. So that is fresh and new news. We've also heard about the TTC changing some of its policies, allowing all-door boarding on some of its vehicles where it hadn't been previously been allowed. And they are going to allow TTC staff to wear masks and protective equipment and gear should they see fit. That's a big change from what had originally been said just a couple of weeks ago. Just before I wrap up, City News did learn this afternoon that a key coordinator, a director within the Office of Emergency Management here at the city, has actually been fired by the city. When asked about that, Fire Chief Matthew Pegg said that while he can't speak about personnel matters, he can in fact say that he is very confident in the team that they have put together to deal with this right now, and so that shouldn't make a difference.